you ended up finding out. Do you blame yourself? Anything you want to directly say to the girl that did this to you? Okay, we're rolling.
Do I really have to talk about this? I just feel very vulnerable right now. I'm not sure if I'm comfortable airing this L out like that, especially so soon.
I think we both know the answer to that. If you can't air this out to me, who else are you going to tell?
I mean, I guess. But as an entire video? Who knows how long this is going to end up being?
No, don't think about that. It's just you and me. I mean, this was your idea to make anyways. It's therapeutic to you. And that's what matters.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Well then, let's hear what happened.
So recently,
It's okay.
Right. I got cheated on.
And how does that make you feel?
Did it hit you yet? Nah, I mean, it makes me feel like I got cheated on. I don't know. You know what? It made me immediately think of this meme. Like, dude, I'm the guy in this photo, just laying there like a dipshit, fantasizing in a world of infatuation while my girl is out there getting pounded. He's a sucker, man. Just like me. I suck.
So, you're blaming yourself for being cheated on.
Dude, of course.
And why is that, do you think?
I don't know.
Okay then, another question. Do you think you could have prevented this from happening if you did things differently?
Honestly, no. I feel like this was inevitable.
So why do you blame yourself?
I don't know. Maybe a part of me just hates the idea of being victimized. I hate being seen and treated as the victim. I hate it.
Ah, so it's a pride thing.
It's definitely a pride thing. I'll admit that.
Okay, we're going to try something. I want you to picture this if you can. Picture her before all of this took place. Tell me a little about her, about you two's relationship.
Okay. Well, she's great, She's pretty, smart, charismatic, confident, caring, funny. When it was good, we got along so well. My friends would even say we were like two peas in a pod, just silly as hell. We shared the same interest, even down to reading manga, which, was new to me. She was basically everything I ever wanted in a significant other. In fact, we actually have a video together that I've been working on for a little while now. I think I'm gonna still put it out. If anyone witnessing wants to see how much we got along, I'm not gonna post her contact or anything to protect her privacy, but yeah, I worked hard on that and I want to put it out.
Sounds like you two were made for each other.
That's what I thought too, but
Okay, so tell us about what happened. How aware were you of her unfaithfulness? How did things end?
So all of this happened very suddenly, actually. This entire story took place all on the same day. So I don't want to dive too much into it, but let's just say it was brought to my attention that something was maybe going on. She was already spending time in my place because she was getting some work done. We had a bit of a disagreement earlier in the day, but by that night we made up and, how detailed do you want me to be, Doc?
As much as you can, but be creative because,
Right. So yeah, we made up that night and then we did the deed.
Did the deed?
We had sex, Doc. Pay attention.
Ah, of course.
So yeah, afterwards, she was out like a light. Like a light. Because, I'll be putting it down. Feel me, Doc?
Right.
But anyway, she was dead asleep. The drooling, snoring, REM sleep, the whole 9 yards. And that's when I decided to do some digging.
So you did it while she was asleep, so you wouldn't arouse suspicion.
Exactly. I was more so doing this to calm down the voices in my head. I try not to jump to conclusions, especially with something that can potentially threaten the very core of the relationship. So I wanted to find out the truth.
And what did you find?
What I found could have drove a lesser man into a state of mental anguish. No exaggeration.
Wow.
Needless to say, not only what was brought to my attention ended up being true, but it turned out to be way, way worse. She had cheated on me for as recent as a week prior with a guy she dealt with before. Dude was a total asshole. Treated her like shit, was never available for her when she wanted, only really used her for his own personal gratification. You know, textbook toxic stuff.
So what was going through your head during this time?
I was shocked, naturally, but also very confused. Like, why him of all people? And that's not even the worst part. The worst part is, when she did cheat, I found out that he wasn't even good. Like, she really had the nerve to be unfaithful and have it be with someone who couldn't even lay it down properly. Someone who was leagues under me. Like, come on, it wasn't even worth it in the end.
I see. Do you think she was remorseful at all?
Yeah, I guess so. But not that that mattered anyway, because there was another attempt. Not to mention another guy she was talking to online. Shit was too much. Way too much. But all of this did make me realize something. Dude, I'm mature as fuck. Like, let's not forget, homegirl was literally laying down in my bed. I didn't yell, I didn't make her get up and leave, none of that. I let her sleep. There are people watching this that I'm sure would have did way worse, or at least kick her out right then and there, regardless of it being 4 a.m. at the time or not.
Agreed, but why didn't you kick her out at the very least? You're completely justified in doing that.
True, but I had a couple reasons.
What were those reasons?
Well, the main reason was to get my hoodie back.
Your hoodie?
Hear me out, Doc. There was a very exclusive and limited edition hoodie that had a lot of sentimental value to me. And being as I've lost various things to past relationships, there was no way I was going to risk losing this one too.
So, what was the other reason?
I needed to know more from her. I wanted to know where her head was at. I was aware this was risky, but I had to make the most of it.
So, what happened next? What was going through your head at that time?
I headed back to bed, and I saw her sleeping. It made me think how someone can lay down next to someone they're cheating on and sleep so peacefully. Like, you truly are scum. I wasn't even mad, just disgusted. I lost all respect for her in that moment. I couldn't sleep, so I just started writing. I started writing down all of my thoughts, what I felt. I started to analyze everything I acquired from what I found out and wrote down some notes, ideas. The very notes and ideas that turned into this very video.
Okay, let's slow down here. So you started writing for this very video immediately after you found out, all while she was laying right next to you?
Exactly. Not only that, but I also started telling my close friends that they probably wasn't going to see her again because I was fully intent on breaking up with her. You know, once I got my hoodie back.
So you did decide you were through with her after that.
Of course. I think I'm very reasonable when it comes to relationships. I'm the type to believe that if there is a problem, it can be overcome and result in us being stronger because of it. But I do have principles. Principles that I hold going into any relationship. And loyalty is definitely one of them. When that is broken, you've officially gone too far and I want nothing else to do with you. Simple as that. These were things that she knew I was about from the jump, and she still pulled what she did. Absolutely devious.
And how did your friends feel about it?
Naturally very confused, but it was also because I didn't really give them a reason why yet. I wanted to make sure that this was truly over with before I told anyone the truth. So I just told them that I was ending this and that they should trust me. And they absolutely did. I texted my roommates my plan on getting her out the house in a way that wouldn't arouse suspicion so I can get my hoodie and break up with her as quickly as possible.
Okay, so what happened next?
Bro, it felt like I was in a spy movie or something. First off, I woke up a few hours later with her demonic ass wrapped around me. I calmly got her off and alerted my friends/roommates that my plan was going to full effect, effective immediately. So boom, I convinced her that I needed to accompany her on her Uber back home. because I needed my hoodie for a video my fashion YouTuber friend wanted me to be a part of. He needed me to come by his house to film the next day, so I was going to need the hoodie when she planned to head home tonight and just head back as soon as I got it.
Wow, what a plan.
I know. There was only one problem though.
And that was...
I had to sit there and pretend that everything was fine with her for the entire day until she decided to leave. Not the best idea for my mental health, but it had to be done, yo.
And how did your roommates feel about that?
They were on board. In fact, they proposed an idea to make her leave even earlier so I wouldn't have to suffer as much. So this is how it would go. The renewal for my roommate's lease was only weeks away, so they used that as a perfect reasoning for what they proposed. They would stage a landlord visit, meaning everyone who wasn't on the lease would have to leave before he got there. The only problem was, she was going to possibly just want to hang out with me somewhere until the landlord left the apartment. So I made an impromptu decision to pretend to be super bothered at the fact that this happened before, and the last time he came by for an inspection, it lasted several hours. So being that the current weather was blazing in the mid-90s, there was no point in just trying to wait it out, which in turn would want to make her head home early. So once that was done, the second part of the plan went into effect, and my roommate proceeded to pull the best Oscar-worthy performance I've ever seen. He paced around, talked, and instantly stopped like he was getting interrupted, made perfect pauses and everything. Dude really looked like he was on the phone with the landlord and not his girlfriend. Really amazing stuff. I love my friends to death, man.
And did it work?
Yep, she bought it. So we had an hour before he got there. So we all cleaned the house and got her stuff together to head out. She tended to keep some stuff here and there when she stayed over, so whenever she wasn't looking, I would put everything she owned in my bag that I was going to take with me to put the hoodie in. So when I broke up with her, there would be no excuse for her to return because unbeknownst to her, this was the last time she was coming over. That Uber ride was the weirdest and most uncomfortable time I had with her. We were just sitting there, separated, all but connected by a hand gesture we both didn't want to make. There was very little conversation, other than me trying to bait her in a way that would get her to reveal something, anything about what she did. I got nothing, and I spent that ride mentally preparing myself for something that she had no idea was going to transpire until it was too late. It was kind of poetic in a way, because the news was going to hit her the same way the news about her had hit me. After that 45-minute trip, we had arrived at her place, and I waited outside as she headed in and got my hoodie. I then proposed that we sat down and have a talk.
So your plan had worked. It was time for you to take it home.
Yeah, we sat on her stoop facing each other, and then, hey, you know I love you, right?
Yeah, of course.
I'm not sure you know to the degree of how much I do, and maybe that's on me, but I do, I really do. The connection we two share is something that I can't get from just anyone. It really is one of a kind. And that's why it makes it that much tougher to say what I'm about to say next. I'm breaking up with you.
Why?
I always did pride myself on the fact that you painted me as someone you can confide in, someone you can talk to about your deepest secrets. We've had so many uncomfortable conversations about those very things. You even hesitated because you thought being that vulnerable with me would scare me away, right? Needless to say, I wasn't. I wanted you to know that I was in this for the long run. I see myself as someone far from perfect, but one thing for sure is I'm someone you can depend on, someone you would rather take on whatever issue we're having head on, so we can learn and improve and continue to grow together. But what you pulled was completely unforgiving, and I lost all respect from you from that point.
Wait. What did I do?
When you cheated on me.
But...
My question is, are you stupid? Or do you think I'm stupid?
But I didn't...
Would you cut the shit already? I know about everything. And that's when I laid out everything I found out about right to her face. And I was ready for her to deny it, because I would have just pulled out my phone and showed her the messages, the screenshots, even the people involved. I was ready.
Did she end up denying it?
Nope, not at all. She just sat there and stared at me. She looked like her heart had dropped, and what was left of her was just a husk. Nothing but emptiness.
Was she quiet the entire time?
Well, kinda. When I gave her the floor, she had really nothing to say besides,
I'm sorry.
I really do hate that phrase. This isn't like a case where you accidentally spilled my drink, you know? You were being unfaithful to someone who would have gave the world to you. All that really did was anger me more.
Is that all you have to say for yourself? Sorry?
Fine then. Here's all your shit, by the way. All of the stuff you leave at the house is right here in front of you. You're no longer allowed to come back there anymore. I would say I hope all of this was worth it, but I think we both know that it wasn't. Take care. And then I left. I had some headway from walking, and I looked back for a second, and there she was, still sitting on that stoop, in the same position I left her in. That was the last time I saw her. And that was it, Doc. I had went home, and even though I felt stupid about it, I told my friends the news. She met my friends and family, and still pulled what she did. Crazy. Anyway, after that, I immediately started working on this very video. I think I've kept myself busy enough to not let the eternal sadness dwell on me too much, but yeah. I haven't really eaten that well as of late, but I'm not sure if it's because of what happened or I'm just in work mode constantly. Maybe it's both. I don't know.
Wow. I can't imagine how heavy this could have been for you.
Has it hit you yet? Definitely not a fun experience, but it had to be done. I am definitely the self-loathing type, but I respect myself enough to let someone go, even if I love them.
Okay, I have an exercise for you. If she was watching this right now, what would you say? Now, I want you to focus on something in this room and pretend like it's her.
This is kind of weird, Doc.
Trust me, it'll help.
Okay, fine. Oof, hey there. If you're watching this, I don't know if you realize, but today's the 17th. This video falls directly on what would have been our anniversary. Ever since that event, I have been constantly feeling an entire myriad of emotions. Confusion, sadness, angriness, you name it. The thing is though, that anger I feel is not even directed at you, but more so at myself. Because no matter how much I try, I can't seem to bring myself to hate you. I think the emotion that engulfs me the most is just feeling sorry for you. What you did was completely stupid and irresponsible. Considering how much you've been through yourself, I would have thought you would be the last person to treat me the way you did, to put me through this. You know what I think the problem is? I think I was way too accessible to you. I was there when you needed me, when you wanted company, when you studied, even down to sometimes being there when you woke up. I was there for you. You knew at the end of the day, there was truly nothing I wouldn't do for you. And that's what I think drove you away. Because in reality, all of these things that you said you wanted in a man didn't appeal to you like you said they would. Nothing that I said or done would have ever been enough. Because I just think at your core, the same core that drives you to constantly buy things you don't need because it's all hype until they arrive and it's on to the next one. That same core made me realize that I was in that same category to you. The more you had me, the more you didn't want me. Because I think at the end of the day, you're only really after the things you know you can't have. Because maybe then you can fill that void you have burrowed inside you. I don't think I will ever completely forgive you for what you've done. Because I'm no saint, but one thing I know for sure is that you fumbled hard. I really felt like we were building something great. But even after all of that, I do still believe you're someone capable of being a better person. But only if you want to be better. And believe it or not, I wish you the best. I truly do. You made me aware that there are women out there that are capable of making me feel like this is all worth it. And for that, I thank you. You'll always have a place in my heart. But that will always be as far as it goes. Okay, Doc, I did it.
And did it make you feel any better or not?
Do you feel it now? Yeah, it did actually. So now what, Doc? I guess this is the part where you critique everything I did wrong and everything I could have handled a bit better, what I should do moving forward, all of that jazz. Lay it on me.
Now, how could I do that?
Because you're supposed to be my shrink or something, right? What should I do?
What are you talking about?
Is that all I really am to you? What? Damn. I think it just hit me.
Hello? Can we talk?